Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. I am so glad that you are here today. And I am making some adjustments on the fly here. Here we go. All right. That's why we roll. We just have to keep things moving, even when things are not completely adjusted where I want them. But there we go. Hey, this is Live Marketing with Russ, and I am so glad you're here. It is an amazing day today because you're here with us today. Got my amazing guest, Steve Spiro, with me today. What an amazing friend he is. And so we're going to have a great chat. This show is all about how amazing people connect, and he is the master connector. And so I'm super excited to have him here today. This show brings in amazing personalities and amazing people that are doing great things, that are moving forward in a positive direction. And I'm telling you, you're going to love what we have today. This is the follow-up to our last show. He is such a great friend and a great person. We have such a similar mindset. I love to have Steve on. So I also want to give a huge thanks before we go on too much further to our sponsors. And I am so thankful for the sponsors we have today. And I am going to tell you, Davis Home Inspection. You can just go to davis1.com, and if you need any home inspection needs in the Willamette Valley, they are there for you at davis1.com. My friend Ray is the man and has an amazing company. Also, Kaiser Computer Incorporated. They have all that you need in repairing your computers and your technical things that I don't understand, but they do. That's so great. And also, Kerry Whitlatch and Farmers Insurance. I'm telling you, if you need some great insurance and want to talk to an amazing person, Carrie is the one you need to talk to. She's so great. So thankful for our sponsors today. We couldn't do this without them. And they are all amazing people here in Oregon. And I hope if you're in this local area, you get a chance to use them. And if not, reach out and just be encouraging and connect with them. Because, we all need connections no matter where we are. Who knows when you might end up in Oregon, right? Well, there you go. All right. Well, listen, again, we were talking about how amazing people connect. I love to connect. And you can connect with me at russhedge.com. That's right. russhedge.com is a place to go. And I would love to Zoom with you. You can actually schedule time right on my calendar. We can Zoom. Love to do that. If you'd rather, you can connect on social media, my email. You can call me on my phone or text me. Any of those things. I'm all for it. Whatever works good for you. And you know what? We're really working to build our YouTube community. We'd love it if you'd subscribe on YouTube today. You can actually open a separate tab right now. Go straight to YouTube. Type in marketingwithruss.live. That's right. Marketingwithruss.live will take you straight to my YouTube page, and then you can subscribe. You will get all the amazing past content of this show and others. You don't have to binge Netflix anymore. You can binge Marketing with Russ all weekend long. So I would appreciate you subscribe there, and also share this out today. Tag your friends, share it out. Let them know, hey, Russ and Steve are on Marketing with Russ. You don't want to miss it. There's a great community too, because not only do you get to watch us and the valuable content that Steve has, but you also can connect with people in the comments and make new friends. I'm telling you, it's a great place to be. So we would love it if you would share today and tag your friends. So last but not least, if you've not got your copy yet of my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, would love for you to pick up a copy of that. You go to russhedge.com, or you can pick it up on Amazon or any online bookseller. Also, there's a companion workbook that goes with that. Also can pick that up on Amazon. And two new collaborative books that have been released in the last couple of months. First one is just an amazing compilation of authors called Rattled Awake. I was on volume 1. Amazing people. You can pick that up on Amazon in ebook or in paperback. And the latest one, just in time for Christmas, A Note to My Family, I Am Your Legacy. It's all about writing to your family in the future and what you want them to know about you. And really, it's an amazing group of people. So look for both of those books on Amazon as well. Okay, good. Think we got it all? We're going to get Steve in the room and get this party started. Here he comes. Hey,
What's
Steve.
going on? Hey.
Woo-hoo. How's it going, buddy?
Woo-hoo. What's going on there, Russ? Great to see you. Befuddled, you know, in the Bronx, in the Jewish term, it's verklempt, you know?
There you go. That worked. That works. But what's interesting, because, you know, not too many people use that word. And it really stuck out when I used that for my book. People are like, wow, that's a great word. And it all came about because of my beautiful wife. And I didn't use the word that often either. But one day she told me I look kind of befuddled. And I thought, that's a good title for my book.
That's great. Love it.
All right. Well, Steve, listen, this whole snapshot. I mean, you've got a book out. You've got crazy, great things going on. You're the master connector. Let us know, who is Steve and what are you all about?
Absolutely. Well, just an honor to be on here. But I got to say, hey, what's going on, friends? Steve Spiro, the master connector, coming at you live and direct. And it is a blessing to be on here with Russ and with you. You know, my background, briefly, born and raised in the Bronx, as I alluded to, shy and introverted, picked on, bullied, learning disabled, dyslexic, wound up going into the advertising industry, had a very illustrious career in that somehow, some way. Also have a double black belt in martial arts. My wife's a black belt as well. And yep, had a karate studio, but eventually, you know, trying to, befuddle my way through life. Okay. And eventually met a mentor who challenged me, took me under his wing and said, you know, you need to meet 3 strangers every day. And that really challenged me. And, you know, in the New York area, you know, living in New York, you know, if you talk to strangers, they're going to shoot you, kidnap you. And I did it. And I didn't get shot or killed or kidnapped, and it stretched me. And today I have an incredibly large network. I do a bunch of things. I do business automation consulting. I have several entrepreneurial projects. Speaking, I'm an inspirational speaker. I love speaking in front of crowds of as many as possible, just to inspire them. I also, as you said, just wrote a book. There it is, right there. The Tao of a Master Connector. So it's been a blessing to be able to inspire people. And you also have my LinkedIn live broadcast, like you guys. It's the Master Connector Show on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. So just a lot of stuff, but just blessed. And my mission on this planet is to be the light, uplift, inspire, and encourage. And that's really why I'm here, because I know Russ and I share that one aspect of many things we share and have commonalities on, but it's that one thing in terms of our mission, which is really to really inspire people.
Well, exactly. And being the inspiration specialist, you know, I'm all about that, inspire and encourage people to live their best life, to live a purpose-driven life of significance, you know, and I think that we're both all about that. I want to go back and say, though, that New York is a place that I love to visit. I wouldn't want to live there, but I love to visit. And my beautiful wife, my family, we've been there several times. In fact, my son, who is married now, he and his wife go at least once a year, if not more, depending on where he is with his band. Sometimes he comes through plane also, depending on what's going on. But we love New York. And the first time I went there, I didn't know what to expect, because I kind of thought the same thing you just said, that I was going to get shot, or, you know, if I stepped on the wrong block, you know, it was going to be horrible. So I walked in, we stayed in Manhattan, like 2 blocks off Times Square, the first time we were there. And it was interesting because when I went out, I found everybody was really nice and helpful. My wife and my kids, they went around New York on their own while I was at a conference. And so So they found the subway system really user friendly. Only
Mhm.
thing was, on my morning walk one time, I found out that it's the city that never sleeps except for like between 4 to 6 a.m. because everybody's blown out themselves all night long. And then they finally crash for a couple hours. I'm out walking about that time and there's like hardly anybody. I mean, I was out at 2 a.m. and it was like packed, right? So I'm out at like 5 a.m. and there's nobody on the streets except for a guy that was really nice and pleasant, but did offer me any kind of drugs that I would like. And I said, thank you very much, but I appreciate that. And he was very nice and didn't shoot me or anything. Let me go. So besides that, I found it, I really enjoy it. We actually, Steve, went the first time, and then I'm going to let you go, is the first time we went 2 years after 9/11. So I was blessed to watch the Freedom Tower and everything be rebuilt. It went from a hole in the ground up until completely, we were going up in the Freedom Tower and down in the 9/11 museum and all of that as part of that. That was an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, it really is. And you went up the elevator, right, on the Freedom Tower.
Yep.
It's amazing. I mean, just you get to see what the city looked like from the 1800 as you rise. It's just such a
Yep.
cool experience, right? Amazing.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, it was crazy good. So, people are thinking, okay, you guys inspiring. Yeah, you both are really, you're outgoing, you're inspiring type of people, but what can you really do for me? Practically speaking, let's talk about that. Somebody calls you, Steve, and they say, I want to buy your book, but what can you really do for me in my business?
Yeah, I mean that. Well, first of all, I would say, hey, let's back up. I'd love to hear your story.
Right.
Tell me your story, your journey, right? Let me tell you a little bit of my background, and I don't know, maybe I can help you, maybe I can't. I don't know, but let's find out about each other first. Let's
Right.
connect on a human level, and then we can figure out how I can help you best. And maybe it's me helping you by just referring you to somebody. Maybe it's helping you by recommending a book. Maybe it's helping you by getting, inviting you to one of my networking events or being a guest on my show. I don't know, but let's figure out first. Let me find out who you are, what keeps you up at night, what your passions are, your purpose on this planet are, and then maybe I can help you. So I like to get to know people first before I'm starting to ready to pitch now.
Yeah. Well, see, I love that right off the bat because, we know the old adage that people work with people they know, like, and trust. Well, you got to take time to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And it takes, some people are much faster. There's people that I have met and just clicked with immediately. And by the next week, I'm working with them. Or there's people that I have helped and given them recommendations and become their friend. And we've never really worked together, but we've made life better because,
Yeah,
having a good community, right? A good community makes you a better person.
absolutely. Yeah, your tribe is your vibe, but your vibe is your tribe, right? And
Right.
yeah, I mean it's so cliche today, but it really is so true, right? You are who you surround yourself with, for sure, and
Yeah.
it's so important.
I love the Jim Rohn quote that says, "You're the average of the 5 people closest to you," and it
Yeah,
is so true. I
for
mean,
sure.
I felt that way with my kids growing up. I don't know how you felt, but I thought, I wanna know their environment and who they're hanging around because that is gonna influence who they become. I may be able to give them a lot of wisdom at home, but when they leave, which they're gone for a lot of the day, who are they hanging out with? What's going on? And adults are the same way, right?
Yeah, my mentor, who's Italian, he told me his grandfather, in a very thick Italian accent, said, "If you lie with dogs, you're gonna get the fleas." You know. So
It
yeah,
is true. It
yeah,
is true. I went through, well, I'll just tell everybody on a personal level. I went through hanging out with all the athletes and all the driven students in high school and was a good kid, did not get in trouble, did not, for the most part, do what I wasn't supposed to do, and all those kind of things. I went into college, joined a fraternity, and suddenly all the rules changed. Everything was a lot different. I went from not drinking to drinking plenty. I went from not really partying to partying plenty. I went from, my whole mindset shifted, right? Because suddenly you were told you were an adult and you're hanging out with good kids, and yet they're doing a lot of stuff they shouldn't be doing. So it all influenced me. And then
Yeah.
I came full circle back to meeting my beautiful wife on her 21st birthday. And she and her family were very strong Christ followers and very great people, and influenced me the other way. And suddenly I realized there was more to life and there was a whole different thing. So what happened was every environment I was in, and so I learned that as I went, it was greatly influencing me. And so I needed to stay around the kind of people I wanted to be or become. And if you want to be real successful in business, right, Steve, you want to get around people that are very successful in business, right?
Yeah, I mean, I fortunately I surround myself. I do my best to surround myself with people that are way beyond what I have, whether it be spiritually, financially, marriage wise, right? And that always stretches me, right?
Right.
If you keep yourself around people that are kind of like you, right? And then, it's just you're gonna just stay that, or if they're in the other direction, for sure. Yeah. By the way, on
Yeah.
your on the drinking side, I'm sure you're talking about, right? You're talking about like water and sodas and all that, right? Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah. Actually, it's interesting because people ask me now, all the medical stuff I've had, you get this question all the time. How much do you drink? I don't. How much do you smoke? I don't. Do you use drugs? I don't. And I tell them all these things. I don't. And I don't need it. It's fine. But back when I was in college, drinking wise, I probably drank enough for 5 lifetimes. And so I needed to stop anyway because I was in just a bad environment. I'm joking, but I was in an environment which, led to those kind of things. So I was fine. They were good kids. I never got arrested. I was okay. But it was influencing me to do things that weren't really healthy and good for me.
Yeah.
And so I have really worked to be around people like Steve Spiro and to be around people like D. Scott Smith, my friends that really influence me and that are successful in doing well. And I reach for those. There's some companies that will always hire beneath themselves because they want to feel superior to their employees. A good company hires people that are much better than them to elevate themselves and everybody. Let's all rise together instead of trying to beat each other down to be less than we are, right?
Right. Yeah, I heard it said, you the last thing you want to do is, you know, tear down someone's building to make your building look taller, look stronger, right? Look bigger, whatever. So, yeah, for sure. And I just want to just touch base back on the topic of, the seeking after the flesh, if you will. And I think we all, as humans, we pleasure seek. We want those endorphins, right? And there's many ways in which you can get it. But I found joy in finding those endorphin hits through. Well, number one, I work out every day, so that's a big factor, right? So that's
Right.
an endorphin you get from that working out. When I accomplish tasks, positive tasks, I feel good. I get a little endorphin hit. I have a little tracker. I check a box and get a little endorphin hit, right? So when I reach out and push myself beyond my comfort zone and talk to strangers, or get on a call with some stranger, I feel better. I feel good. I felt an endorphin hit because I'm doing something different with my life, and I'm really stretching myself. So there's different ways in which you can actually seek some pleasure, right?
Yeah.
In some ways through the pain, right? Because working out, some pain there, but cliche, no pain, no gain, right? So
Yeah. Well, I've been an athlete my whole life, and I have really tried to, even through all the rough times, I have a great morning routine, and I'm really productive and I'm very focused first thing in the morning. And it always includes number one thing, and I'm sure you've heard me say this, giving myself a positive outlook before I get out of bed. Number one, I'm thankful before my feet even hit the ground. Number one, I'm thankful. Number two, I am saying, I've got this. I have the talents and abilities God has given me to do what I need to do today. And number three, I say today's going to be awesome because I want to shape my mind, because it
yeah,
doesn't mean that everything is going to go perfect then, but it's certainly
sure.
given me a better outlook on what's happening. And then I jump up and I do some Bible and prayer and meditation and some journaling and some exercise. And every day I walk and I exercise. And I actually was going to the gym very faithfully, but I had to cut some of that because of the health issues, but I'm going to get back to that again. But I'm still doing something. I'm always doing some, ride my stationary bike, do that every day, do some things that keep me moving. And I think those things are so important because they make us better. They help with our, we talk about the whole mental attitude, right? And mental health. Those
Yeah.
kind of things are always going to help your mental health, right?
Yeah, it's when you it's funny because I started doing something. I was speaking to a gentleman that a good friend of mine, but I've kind of have a mentoring role with him. And I told him, I said recently, I don't think I'm crazy. I do 220 push-ups today, lately now. That's my new number now in a row. Okay, not like sets in a row.
Uh-huh.
And at one point I was at 180 and I plateaued, and I said I'm just going to do more. I'm going to push myself, and I initially went to 200, and now I'm at 220. I'm probably going to go more, but I felt by doing more, not to brag, it's nothing about that. By doing more, I wound up making myself feel better and more excited. It's just this weird thing that happened. So just by doing more positive things, right? Not more drinking, right? Water, yes. Drink water, yes. More water for sure. But
Right.
yeah, it's amazing how it makes you feel good. So yeah, it's just that's a something I just discovered on my own. It's probably something my mentor has probably been telling me for years, but it clicked for me.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's amazing. Hey, listen, while we still have time, give everybody a little snapshot of your book and where they can buy it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it here. It's the Tao of a Master Connector. It's in the subtext, as you can see right under. It says the way an introvert became a master connector, and so Tao is the way, the path, right? That's why the way is in quotations, but it's really parables and stories of a kid from the Bronx who grew up in the inner city, picked on, bullied, my story, and the not the techniques, but kind of the mindset behind how to become a master connector. And my goal is, if you read it, I'm hoping that inspires you to kickstart your success journey and get out of your comfort zone, like I have and continue to. But it's based on 4 pillars, which is the same 4 pillars as a speaker I speak on. The same 4 pillars that my show is based on, which is connecting authentically. Russ is great at that, right? Number 2 is being others focused, being a go-giver, is Russ again. Having the grit to overcome obstacles is Russ right there, because he's going through some stuff and he is overcoming, right? And then the 4th is building community and growing connections. May I say it again? So it's all about that, and I believe you're going to get a lot out of it. And I've had people tell me that they love it in the sense that the way it's written, it's very sort of short and punchy. So there's like, you just open up the book, kind of like the Bible, right? You open up the book, you look at a passage, and you're like, okay, great. And you could just open up a section, read a section, and boom, you're motivated. You got some good piece. It probably take you 4.5 hours if you read it front to back, cover to cover. There's also an Audible book version that just came out about a month or so ago. So if you're more of a audio reader, audio listener like I am, there's that version as well.
Well, first of all, that's amazing. Shows how much we are alike because I wrote my book, Befuddled Live the Life You Choose, in what I call the John Maxwell format. And it's exactly what you said. There's lots of bullet points and highlighted, and it makes it easy to read. And when you open a book, the biggest comment I got, the biggest compliment was exactly what you said. They felt like they could open pages and get some value right there. You could read just one page and get value. And it's also an easy read. I think my book's like 149 pages and not difficult read at all. But it is, I think it's a blessing to be able to get ourselves out there a little bit, be able to get some more of us and what we're all about, because that's how we inspire people. That's how we encourage people. And that's what you were being so nice and wonderful and giving me credit, but that's why you're so amazing, Steve, is that you are also just always so encouraging. And the whole idea of connecting and building community is so vital to everything we do in life, not just our business, but everything that we do. So, all right, well, listen, I want you to give us your gold nugget of the day and then tell me, how do we get in touch with you? Because I know people are going to want to contact you after. So,
Yeah, I mean, the best thing I could tell you is be a go-giver, be others focused, right? I mean, I will say that, and for those who've heard me before, maybe you've heard this message, but listen, I had the best 3 years of my life financially, and that was a result of me just being others focused. And I felt more connected during COVID than ever before because I was others focused. I was out there, and I just recommend go out there. If you're going to connect with people, connect on a personal level. Be others focused. Don't have an agenda, and just go out there and be open to speaking to people, and not to sell something, just to go out and learn, and always looking to add value. At the end of every call, I've always got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 things that I'm like, here's some things that I'd like to offer you, not sell you, like, maybe an invitation to my networking group, or, maybe some introductions on my, from people on my network, or whatever it is. But I'm always offering something. And that's what I recommend, is go in, be others focused, because the more you give, the more you get. It's the law of reciprocity. You give,
Yes.
and then you get, but you get pressed down, shaken together, overflowing, right? In abundance,
Amen.
right? That's the law
right.
of increasing return, is that universal law. So
Yep.
I appreciate you. And the best way to reach me is simple, is of course LinkedIn, but stevespiro.com is a great way. Also, if you want to hire me as a speaker, I'm an inspirational speaker. You just go to spiro-global.com, but stevespiro.com will get you right there to all the links. And if you're interested in the show, go to masterconnector.show as our show website, and love to see you on. If you are on our show, get in the comments and make sure you say, hey, it's, I saw you on the Russ Hedge Marketing with Russ show, and definitely give a shout out there. So I appreciate that. I look forward to connecting with you. I definitely love connecting with new people, and love seeing a way in which I could add value and be a blessing.
There you go. That is so awesome. And all of that information was magically appearing below you, but also is in the comments and the show notes. So everybody can go in. It is clickable, everybody. Click right on it. Go straight to Steve. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to find anything. All you got to do is click on it, and boom, there you are. And I highly, highly recommend it, that you get to know Steve, that you find out how you can collaborate and work with him through your life, because you will be better for it. He is a man of great value. And Steve, I appreciate you so much. Thanks so much for being here again today.
I appreciate having. Listen, this is such a blessing, and continue to pray for you and your family. And we know that great things are coming for you guys. So appreciate
Amen.
you.
Amen.
Love you all. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Hang tight for just a second as I wrap it up. Here we go. All right, everybody. Well, listen, as usual, amazing. I am so blessed to have such amazing friends, and that are willing to come on and share so much value with you. His information and my information has been ticking along the bottom this whole time, as well as I put it up on the screen while he was talking, but it's in the comments and the show notes as well. So you can easily get to Steve. I would love for you to connect with me. Remember, best way to do that is russhedge.com, and that would be great. Any way you want to connect with me is there. That would be so, so amazing. Remember, he is stevespiro.com, and you can get a hold of Steve there. Also, if you did not get a chance to subscribe on YouTube before the show started, go to marketingwithruss.live, and you can subscribe today. And whether you're watching on replay or live, you can still share this out. So if you're watching a replay, please put hashtag Team Replay. Share this out to your friends. You will be glad, and they will be glad you did. So thanks so much for being here today. I appreciate all of you. Remember, we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, for your listening and viewing pleasure. I want to say one more time, a big, huge thanks to our sponsors today. We can't do it without them. Kaiser Computer of Kaiser, Oregon, Davis Home Inspections and Ray Davis in the Willamette Valley, and Kerry Whitletch and Farmers based out of Lebanon, Oregon. Amazing, amazing people. Thanks so much to them, and they are what makes this possible. And until we see you again, which is every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, have a great day and a great life. Talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.